Okay.
Yeah. So I started recording. We can start. Should I then share my screen, maybe?
Sure.
Okay. Cool. I will also make the other window smaller, so it wasn't full screen mode. Now we should be able to see. Okay.
Take your time.
Yeah. And so can you see the terminal here?
Yes.
And yeah, you can see also the code editor.
Yeah.
Also, I will open a new window. And this should be also visible. Yeah, you can see also Chrome. Cool. Okay, I think we can start. I will just show you the test that we are going to work on. So here it is. Are you familiar, by the way, with this issue or not?
I've seen it once, but I mean, we could go just like very quickly through it again. Let me just have a quick read. So we have reported issues of jobs stuck waiting for resource groups. It is hard to debug though, because we don't have a lot of logging around potential timing race conditions. We should add detailed logging for events and errors around acquiring resource groups. Okay, so let's. Did you already work? You said you did some work, I think, with Alan on this.
Yeah, we actually didn't start coding. We just thought like what we can do, and what we thought was basically. So we have a processable, if I remember, model. Yeah, this one. So this processable have a state machine. By the way, can you see it well, or should I?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so this in the state machine, we see that when there is an enqueuing the waiting resource, and there is also when you complete the status, there is a release function. So those two looks like the main parts that's changing the like releasing and enqueuing. So we're thinking to add there here a log. Yeah,
right.
And there is already some unit tests. So we can maybe, as you like how it will be done, but we can, for example, write unit test and then mock the logger, let's say.
Yeah.
And another thing we should do is we can do it in the second iteration. We don't need to do it right now. We can right now use just a default Rails logger, but before we merge, we actually should use a separate logger. Shinya recommended something like pi report group.log, a different file. And also we need to make sure that this is searchable in Kibana. For this, there is another merge request. I think after we finish, if we can do, or I can do it separately. So there is this one. Yeah, like when you create a new logger. This one.
Nice.
Yeah, anyway, there you go. Login.
I think this is a good idea, what Shinya suggested here, to create like a new log file. I haven't done this before, but I think we can, as you said, take some inspiration from this other merge request. So if you want, we can start with this and take it from there. Like we check how to create this, write to this new file, log file. And yeah.
You want me to open the, is it here maybe? No, not here. I can then open the merge request.
Yes.
Is this one?
It's
So
yes,
this
exactly
is
this
me.
one.
Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, let's go to changes.
So there's documentation on the new file. And yes,
Yeah,
we have to start like with a new logger. Yeah, basically. Okay. Okay, let's maybe start with creating a new file to use as the logger.
Okay, where do you want me to create that?
I'm not sure, but I see this one was created in lib feature / logger. So what does this feature, feature definition or feature module is being used for the feature flags.
Yeah.
So we could, I don't know, what other logger files do we have?
So we are going to use it mostly in, do we have a source group? Yeah, I will just
in the lib folder, I'm not sure if we have anything to do with resource group, but I'm checking here on my side. I mean, we could see if there's something that has to do with CI since it's related to CI. So if you open the, sorry, I need to go back. Can you show me the tree, the file tree?
Yeah, I'm trying to show it. I don't know why it doesn't show. There's nothing to show.
Ah, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I not just really mind that much before, but it's okay. I can then do here.
So yeah, under lib folder, you will see that there is a CI folder as well. And maybe we can add a new folder called resource group if it doesn't exist.
Okay. So in GitLab,
lib,
and then
CI.
I don't see CI.
I think. Okay, sorry, my bad. There is no folder for CI here, but there's lib GitLab /CI. So lib / GitLab and then CI.
Okay.
We don't have something for resource groups here, like a folder, but maybe we can create one.
Okay. A folder, right?
Yes, exactly.
So like resource group or
resource dash underscore, sorry, group, exactly. No, yes, exactly, like this. And
no,
let's create a new file there. It's it was created under something else.
Yeah, I don't know why this doesn't work. Hey, need to move it.
It's okay.
Okay, I'll do it in terminal. Remove lib GitLab CI.
So it would be lib GitLab CI and then resource group directly, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And inside this folder, we would want to create a new file. The new file will be, let me check quickly. So, yeah, I guess we could do something like GitLab. Sorry, the name of the file would be, sorry, can you go back to the merge request again? Yes. So the file was, basically we could do something similar. So we will have the file name called logger.rb.
Yeah.
And inside, I don't think we have a module called our resource group there, but we could like maybe create one. So it will be module CI first, and then inside this module,
a class.
I think we could use modules resource group. We likely have one somewhere.
Under module CI, okay.
Yes. If we, yeah. I mean, we don't have one currently, but we will create one, that's fine. And then the class will be logger, and it will be inheriting from GitLab JSON logger. Same as, yes, exactly, as in the file. You might also want to copy the the method here. And I think this will be the file name we will want to have. So we could do CI underscore resource groups. Yes. So this is the first step. Can you share the merge request link with me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So here I see that they added this features JSON file. And what we want to make sure is, okay, I think it's fine. We would likely want to update the documentation the same way they have in the merge request. For now, we will just add like a heading and introduced into or introduced in. So just like maybe copy, yeah. We could just like add it under the features JSON one.
This one, right?
Yeah, exactly. We just add it underneath it.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
That's kind of weird. It's not the. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yes.
Okay. So after the site, you say.
So yeah, for now we just added here, and let's write the name CI resource groups JSON.log. And I think we will also want to add this introduced in line as well.
Okay. Should I copy all or?
Maybe you can copy until the installations from source line, since, yeah, this is. Actually, you can also copy the same installations line as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We will change the link for introduced to be the issue that you are working on. So, yes.
Okay.
And we need to also change the milestone there. So it's going to be 15.9. And let's update the paths underneath. For line, yeah, for these two lines, I don't know if I can here, and I cannot do. I was looking for some kind of, I don't know, like something to annotate on the screen. But yeah, these two lines, basically, we need to change them to.
Okay. Yeah.
Just have the same file name from above.
Yeah, okay. And the folder stays the same, or?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same.
Okay. So it is the same, yeah. 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 Okay.
All right. We will add some examples later because we don't know how it would look like for the time being. But what we could add is this will be recording, or like we will log. So if you just look at the example above, you'll see that they say the notification events from feature flags are recorded in this file. So we could like add some kind of a sentence that says something similar, but about the resource groups. So
yeah,
we could say, I don't know. Let's have a look at so the logs we will add is attempting to acquire resource group, success or failure for getting a resource group, any exceptions in the process of trying to get a resource group, should include which resource group, job, and any other relevant information. Okay, so I think we would say that these logs would be for any I don't know. Yeah, we could just like use some of the wording we have in the original issue here. That's the logs when attempting to acquire a resource group and on success and failure of. I mean, basically, it's just everything around resource group acquisition. So we could just use resource group acquisition, something like the logs for resource group acquisition would are recorded in this file. So
yeah, I am done deleting the rest, right? Yeah.
And,
yeah, you will add examples later, right?
Exactly. You could one thing we could just do here as well is to link to resource groups. So you select resource group and add a link for the link would be something like this. I sent over Slack.
Okay.
And maybe you can remove would be. So it would be the logs for resource group acquisition.
Yeah, we can try. Maybe if it works. Yeah, it's correct link.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the logs for resource group acquisition would be recorded or are recorded in this file, and then we will add the example later. So yeah, just let's save this one. Sorry, let's save this one, and let's go back to trying to use the logger itself. How do we use this new logger we just created? So
should I check how they use Git feature logger?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if
they
exactly.
They just use the log function.
I think they created an instance of the class.
Yeah. This is the one, I guess.
Yes. So we could maybe create a new file under how do they use this eventually?
Only. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking we could create a new file under libci, libgitlab CI for the module resource group.
So inside resource group, like resource group.rb?
No, inside CI.
Inside CI, resource group.id.
Yes.
Oh, Ruby file, okay. Again, put it to one place, but I will move it. Yeah,
it's okay.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Let's see. I'm just looking for something here on the side. Okay. I'm looking for other examples of how this is used by other similar classes. So if we so one thing that we could do is to just call this new logger class directly inside in the place where we are changing things in this processable file. That's one way, and the other way, which I was more in favor of, would be to create this the new resource group file that we created, where we would add this logger as a member of the module or like a method on the module. So if you go back to resource group, yes, what we want to do here is to create just define the module resource group.
Is it
it's
again
module
under
CI actually?
Yeah.
Actually, module CI, module resource group. And maybe we so I'm thinking two ways. Either we define the method directly on the module, and that would be the logger method that we use like everywhere, or we could have a base class as well. But I think we could just directly have it on the module, like define a module method.
Okay.
There's a way to do this in Ruby. Just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, you could just define a method directly.
Like an instance method, right? On the module.
Yeah, just so def logger, and yes, exactly.
Pick something. Should be like here.
Yeah, should be similar to the one over here.
Like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's not feature.
Exactly. It's going to be.
Is it like CI resource group? And
I think since we are directly inside the module, we could just call logger.build.
Okay.
So let's try this and see if it works. And what we want to do here is to also check the how they do it when it comes to the log function. So the log here is doing some extra things, but we don't need to do this ourselves. We could just use the logger method directly without an extra stuff in there. So you see in line 204, they are using the logger directly, logger.info.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we want to do, depending on the type of I don't know, logging messages we will have, if it's a warning, if it's an error, if it's an info, and so on. So if we go back
to file or
no, I just wanted to go back to this documentation. I sent you a link on Slack. So the documentation here says we have these 5 log levels. So basically, these are the things we could use when we are calling logger. So that's what I was talking about. And if we go back to the code, I think we are ready to actually start using this logger function. Now that we did this, I think maybe the file resource group is not that needed, except maybe for defining the module in the first place.
This one,
this module, yeah, maybe the whole file that we don't really need, since we could just, we could just later on call CI resource group logger.build inside processable.rb itself. So
I delete this one, or
I think we don't need it, but let's see how it works.
Okay, you can. I'm keeping it tender that way. Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep it that way for the
Also,
time being. Yeah.
Yeah, just letting you know, because when I was typing, I noticed, because it's all locals, the CI module has already resource groups. Not the resource group, but maybe we could use them.
Okay.
Yeah, oops, a bit slow, but yeah, the first group.
Okay, is this a module or
Yeah, it's the
can
module.
you...
Let's see in the worker. Yeah,
So we could
module.
use this. In fact, we could rename it to CI resource groups and have the class logger inside. I think that makes a lot of sense. What do you think?
And where is it in the worker?
Is it
So
defined anywhere else?
so if I search for it, it's in the service also here. This
Nice.
is in the app services. That's the only part, right? In the lib, what is this one? That's what I wrote just.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only place is in the app services, and there is usage of it in the workers and models.
So I currently feel like we could just remove this resource group.rb file and we update the logger to be under the module resource groups. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we could, but yeah. Do you think it makes sense to put the logger also here? No, no, but that's a service. Okay. Yeah, I think the best way is like to keep the logger here.
Yeah.
And just get rid of this file. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'm deleting this. The delete one. Getting used to this. No, I will delete in the next part. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
This will delete logger, right?
Oh, sorry. Oh, what did I do for them? Let's check.
I think you were deleting the logger file.
Okay. The logger that we just wrote, or
Yes.
oh, oops, that's not good. Did it get deleted or where is it?
I think it was deleted, yes.
Oh, okay. Let me edit back. Is it in the diff maybe or not yet? So- oh, we didn't edit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll quickly write. Maybe it's still there. Sorry. So in the CI, now we've also deleted the folder, or yeah. Okay. Yeah. Resource.
I think you are creating the folder in the models now, not in lib.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Lib. GitLab. Do we have the folder?
CI, I think. Yes.
Okay, resource group.
Okay. So let's.
No, that's the.
But
yeah, I will create a folder then here.
okay.
The folder was called.
It should be called. It should be resource groups because we are going to use the module resource groups. I think you're looking at the CI. Sorry, the model again. Models.
I'm not sure why it goes there again because the file is open there. So I will open something in lib.
Okay.
So lib GitLab CI. group. Yeah. What's okay? Click the resource groups and then file logger.rb.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it was here. Like this. Is that correct?
Yes. We just need to make sure that it's in plural, like the resource groups is in plural inside the file, and also update the folder name.
Okay.
When you are done with this,
yeah, I can change
first.
it. Yeah. And this was called CI
underscore resource groups underscore JSON. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Let's just update the folder name as well.
Okay. I will just
okay.
Let's add the git. So which one of it? This one, right? Or I can add both of them. This one. Okay. So now I hope I can rename it here. Resource group. Doesn't need to search, I guess, anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So now we will call this logger from directly from the processable.
I think there's just one typo under resource tool, like the module name. If you just look at the code, yeah, there is a missing C somewhere. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it looks good.
Okay.
Cool. So what we are going to do is to go to processable, and maybe we will have I don't know, like a method after the state machine.
Somewhere here?
It could be, I'm not sure if we would need to have it a public method or it could be private. What do you think?
We can start with private.
Okay.
And then move it to public if we see that it's so
all right
here. Yeah.
So we will call this CI resource groups logger. And inside this, we will just do the same stuff we have. Yes, exactly. Same name, maybe.
Same name with the method, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then equal, and then we will call the class resource group, CI resource groups logger class.
Okay.
And then you call the method build.
I can check here.
Okay.
No, without arguments. Okay.
So there is one thing. Maybe you have, if you go back to the code in the merge request, you will see that in line 148, they are memoizing the logger. You see there's this separator, two separators, and then equals. So
should I do it here?
We could do this. We could also use this method called strong memoize. You see, like if you look up a couple of lines.
Here. This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So this does the same thing, more or less. But it's kind of recommended to use it. Like if you look through the documentation we have, this is the link here, you'll find that it's basically some sort of, it's kind of like the same thing, more or less. So you could either write it using strong non-wise attribute, or you could do it just the same as in the file, like the other, yeah.
And that's a GitLab utility method, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Name will be the same.
Exactly same as the method. And then you do, and inside we will just have the second part, CI, resource groups, logger build. Yeah.
And
that's it.
I access it without creating an instance variable. I can with calling the method,
exactly.
right? Okay.
Yes, this is exactly as the one we had. It's exactly the same. And the next step for us, since we added the logger, maybe we can. So either we add like a failing unit test, as you said, or we could just to test that everything is working in the transition and queue waiting for resource. We could add a call to logger, CI resource groups logger, and do I don't know what log level shall we use here? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't check details, but usually I think for such info makes sense. But is there some information here? Which one?
So we have, if you go up, we have debug, we have info, warn, error, fatal. I think for this it's either debug or info. I think one of them should be okay.
Do you know if which ones are enabled in production? All of them,
that's a good question. Let's see. We probably have GitLab loggers emit all messages because they are set to debug by default. So it's set to debug by default, but if you check the, if you go a bit down, like if you scroll down a bit, yeah, here. So now can you go up a bit? I think this says like for each one of the services we have, what log level is the default.
Oh, okay.
So for the API, we have it in, at info, and I think info should be fine, to be honest.
Yeah, I also think so. And actually, I didn't check how to call it. They call just by info method.
And then key, there will be a key. And an action, okay. So what is key and action?
I can check who is calling this method, maybe. Is it log? Yeah.
Actually, I think this might be a bit specific to the features. Actually, if you sorry, if you go back to the merge request, can you go up to the documentation above? You see it in the example, there is this key and action, which I think could be useful for us to use as well. So what do you think? Shall we?
We could use, I don't know which one, but for it, I also should check other log entries, but usually it will be good to like differentiate, for example, if it is a release action or like
I think it makes sense to use key and action. That'd be nice.
And what is the key here? It is what does it refer to?
Apparently CD. I could go back. Interesting. I don't see this key anywhere else. So I don't know. But I mean, the key here would be probably something about resource groups. So maybe CIs underscore resource groups, something like this.
Okay.
And the action. So you said in this transition, what is happening here?
Yeah, let's check it. It is.
In the state
We should
machine.
also, yeah, we should read this one, I think. So. So after we prepare and pending, then it's coming to here, right? The enqueue.
Okay. So
we can
before. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is kind of like action assign resource, maybe, because it's calling the assign.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. From it looks like this is assign and the other is release. It's fine.
I see. Let me just check the merge request they had again once. Quickly once more.
Yes, and after that we can try, but I think we will go to brainstorm session.
I actually think the key isn't something we really should have, since we have all these logs inside the new log file we created. So it doesn't. It's not necessary actually to have the key. Maybe we can remove the key. We could keep the action for the time being to mean that, or like to give some meaningful information about what happened. If before we move on, if you go back to the issue we are working on here, you see we want to include certain information. So it says here the logs should include which resource group, the job, and any other relevant information.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that this is also logged when we write our log, when we do the call to info. So at least the resource group and the job. So if you go back to the code again.
Yeah, and I think we should put only the IDs, I guess, not to make a call to DB, probably. Like resource group ID, maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. So can you add these to the call, like
resource group ID or?
Yes.
ID. And I think we should put it here, right? Because there is a check there. Okay, but yeah, so where do we get this resource group ID? It's processable here?
Yes, resource group and then ID.
Okay. Cool. And what else we said? Job. Do we have the job is the processable?
I think the job here would be processable, yes. So maybe job ID as well.
Yeah. And we need, how do we pass the log itself? Because this will put the key values. There is also like message, right?
I think you can pass the message. I'm not sure what's the right way to do this here, but I think we could just use, I don't know, add, from what I see, they add whatever params they want. So same as we did with resource group ID and job ID. So you could add something and just say message. And then the message would be whatever action happened here, which I'm still not quite sure what happens here. Like maybe we can read through the spec and try to understand. What is this before transition? So we have the event in queue waiting for resource, and during this event, we transition. We transition. Okay. When build is waiting for a resource, it is enqueued. When build requests resources, it releases the resource when build is finished. Okay. It rechecks the resource group even if processable does not retain a resource. So, if we go back to the problem statement on the issue, let's try to think again about what we want to log.
We want to report to the issue? Or?
No, here it says log when attempting to acquire resource group. So what is this link leading to?
I attempting to acquire, right? When does acquire happens?
Is assign resource to the one where we attempt to acquire?
Yeah, let's check it.
Resource group.
So assign resource to does this one.
So I think it makes sense. It's assigning the resource to a job, more or less.
Oh,
so it looks for if you go back to the definition of assign resource to again.
Yeah.
You see here that it's calling resources, the free resources, and it's getting one of these free resources and updating the build ID and partition ID for them.
I see.
So
this is
I think this is when we assigning a resource to a processable is when we actually acquire a resource group. So we could say that we are assigning, exactly assigning resource group or would it make sense to use acquiring resource group? I don't know. I'm not sure. Like from.
I think it's better to use the same name maybe because.
Okay. Yeah.
Because person who sees the log will go to our code base and maybe it will make more sense. So especially if we change what's going on in here, maybe.
But let's use assigning resource group to job. And for example, let's just go with this for the time being. And let's see if we could add a spec for this.
Yeah, I think we can do it. Like I can do it later or something because we have this brainstorming session. Yeah. But thanks, it was really good. I think we have to summarize the next steps. I guess we put here, and also we can put in the when we are releasing it here in the release status from. Yeah, and I guess there was something about exceptions, so probably I will try to catch if there's an exception and log it as well.
Yeah. That makes sense. If you needed any help later on, let me know. And that was great. If you also can share the record of this video later on with the team on our Slack channel, that would be great as well. If you're not sure where it's stored or something like this, let me know and I can also help with that.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Sure. You're welcome. See ya.